Well, French parents, they could face heavy fines, even a prison sentence for breaching the, quote, privacy of their children. This is for publishing intimate pictures of these kids on social media sites like Facebook or Twitter. Now, French attorneys, they're cautioning parents that once their children grow up, they could sue them for putting them in a security or privacy risk for posting those pics on Facebook and elsewhere. Here's what one expert in the field had to say about it. In a few years, children could easily take their parents to court for publishing photos of them when they were younger. Now, Sasha, nobody that I do, okay, I know a lot of women, kids. They all do this.
Everybody does.
Naked baby butts going up all day long.
It's as soon as someone has a sonogram picture, that kid's life has just gone in a different trajectory where everyone who knows that person is now watching this kid grow up, regardless of if they want to or not.
That's right.
And so it poses this interesting question because this has become so prevalent everywhere, and obviously France is taking it very seriously. Mm-hmm. But how do kids reclaim that data once it's out there? Because this is their face, this is their image, this is their likeness. They have no say-so over, what is going up. And I'm not saying it's right to let a bunch of French teenagers sue their parents because, you posted pictures of me and I was going through puberty and it was awkward. No, that's not what I'm saying. But it does pose an interesting question about putting your kid's image and their likeness out there, and then what happens when they turn 18 and they go, if we still live in this world where there are still social media profiles, how do they reclaim those images? How do they sort of start to curate what their presence is online? And
what they then own, having legal standing, and the way that the French, their privacy laws, they're incredibly stringent, the way that they're structured right now. So if a child that's become either emancipated or an adult decides to sue their parents, the parent could face penalties as severe as 1 year in prison or a fine of 45,000 euros if they're convicted of publicizing intimate details of the private lives of others. So, my mom took photographs of me in the tub. I don't know, obviously Facebook wasn't around, but had she, wanted to propagate them, you could see how you could have grounds to sue your parents for a separate issue and not for this, but this gives you legal standing.
Well, France is also becoming very litigious in the sense that they just had another lawsuit over user privacy issues with Facebook and Google and a couple other tech companies where they were suing them over violating users' privacy rights with these sort of all-encompassing user agreements that say we have the right to this data and that data. And so this also sort of is setting another precedent saying, they're taking their citizens' privacy very seriously. And I think as more countries adapt these platforms, as they become more prevalent, as they become the way of the future, for lack of a better term, we're going to keep seeing more of this because really in a world where everyone is connected, how do you keep people's intimate details and their personal data safe? We're seeing so much hacking from the Apple case with the FBI right now trying to protect data on your smartphone. France is trying to protect your social media data, but people keep putting these details online. They keep putting it out there, and I don't think anyone is really considering what the consequences are 5, 10, 20 years down the road.
I agree with you, and the embarrassing aspects of having your photographs online, the question then becomes, do you own that content? I just hope that if any of my friends are watching this broadcast, please don't untag me in those photos. I happen to really like them, but you can see how somebody would have a major issue with them, especially if they're of you and they're unflattering. If this comes to the U.S., though, this type of ability to put your parents into a litigation-style place because you're not happy with photographs that they've uploaded for you, you can see what a major slippery slope this is going to become.